Hello, welcome to Outlandish Breaks. A very good evening to everyone. Hope you all are doing great, healthy, and wealthy. I'm doing good. So, back to storytelling. Hope you guys might be interested and intrigued enough to listen to one of my stories, which I will narrate right now. As in the one which I've written. Okay, it's a thriller story. All right. So here we go. I will not waste much of time, and we will go to the story. It's a thriller story. All right. And like any other story, the story has a message too. So I'm going to share the message once we are done with the story. It's a short story, so please stay tuned in. Okay. So the name of the story is An Incomplete Shootout. It's a crime thriller genre story. Okay, so the reason I'm saying is we just wanted to give a couple of aspects about what the story is all about, so that like all of us can relate to it accordingly. Here we go. An incomplete shootout. The old woman dropped her purse, spilling its contents all over the sidewalk. John rushed ahead to help her, stopping short. When he saw the gun under the purse, and in turn had mixed emotions. He was speechless as well, but somehow he made his way out to help her by returning the purse. The old woman acknowledged him with intense graciousness until she saw the gun underneath, which raised a sentence of nervousness and eventually made her frightened to the core. She claimed, saying she has certainly not been in possession of any arms throughout her life. John got a bit paradoxical about this, and it was indeed thrilling because initially he stopped, but eventually he offered help to the old woman, since she was only sane. Now, this led to a mountain of things which indeed questioned the availability of that gun, governed by several emotions, thereby making it relentlessly thrilling. But he strongly believed it wouldn't linger beyond a set of imaginative thoughts, despite the fact being that it was indeed substantial to the core. John was a contract shooter. He was just trying to accomplish his last serial killing assignment, as instructed and organized by a juggernaut mafia hailing from Russia. John was clueless about the origination of this gang, and he certainly didn't know, as in who were those members who were organizing these activities and guiding him for these killings. Strange. Similarly, in the sidewalk, where the old woman accidentally dropped her purse, and as narrated before, where John helped her with her belongings, there was a pedestrian named Peter, who was one of the second last witness which had to be assassinated as per John's diary. John shot him down mercilessly to death, post which it was the old woman who was right next in the queue, and her physical appearance was too far to be appropriately visible. Therefore, when he tried gunning her, he was intelligent enough to understand that there might be an endorsement personnel remotely monitoring all relevant aspects of the crime. He was part of the endorsement department from the enforcement wing. Owing to which, he quickly ran down and the gun fell down from his waist belt, and with several noises originating from the background, the old woman dropped her purse, which indeed got placed over the gun. And even John was not aware that his gun was missing until she dropped her purse. Eventually, the old woman survived and managed getting rid of John's gunshot. Both of them have never seen each other before. The old woman was just dictating and John was only executing. John always followed a notion which stated that if by any chance a bullet gets missed, or as a matter of fact might be anything, which was idly the case in this killing, like the gun fell down while he was running, he would never ever attempt to continue with that killing. So having said that, it was indeed an element of suspense which poured out, and it goes as follows. Now this is something important. The old woman was herself an active organizer of the Russian mafia. The day before this incident happened, she was in the church trying her best to confess all her misdeeds, which in turn led her to a sense of atonement and reparation. And she finally decided to provide her own details to the serial killer, since she desperately wanted to be assassinated for her sins, but nothing of that sort happened. The classic reasons being the old woman to the least indeed accepted the traumatic sins organized by her, and in turn desired to be killed as an actionable confession And as far as John is concerned, his notion of not killing someone if it's a first chance miss, as we were discussing before, marginally relates to the fact that he would be the last person to kill someone, though he had been involved in numerous contract killings before, which was inevitable. I mean, there were inevitable circumstances driven, but still, you don't have the right to take another's life. And this is narrated by me, and I was the one indeed who belonged to the enforcement agency, which we mentioned before, and was certainly a part of this mission to nab the gang. Both of them were arrested by our teams and would be progressed for future count summons for sure. Finally, as I was we're done with the short story. And finally, there's something which we want to say, that in every evil mind, there might be a holy mind imbibed. An honest approach can still deter something horrendous which might likely happen and might at least help you land in heaven, thereby transforming you and getting you prepared for your next life. So people, here something very important which I would want to say definitely, would be that you may want to be honest, even if you have done something, if you have committed a sin. Being honest can help you, come out of it, though it might not give you any kind of a leverage in terms of punishment. However, it may definitely help you in certain other ways, which might be something different, which might be in store for you. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.